Hey, so we're back after Thanksgiving with number 115, PIDGEOTTO.
PIDGEOTTO! Oh, you're a fancy one, aren't you?
PIDGEOTTO, Axl Rose. Alright, so this is how much of a noob I was the first time I played Pokemon. I caught a Pidgey, raised it into PIDGEOTTO, and then threw it into Pidgeot and tackled the Elite Four with that. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Joey? I know that's one of the first Pokemon you can catch, but I mean, it's just not very good. And let's dissect PIDGEOTTO step by step to see why this bird is not that good. It starts out with Gust and Sand Attack. Now, one is a normal type move that becomes flying in later generations, but it was normal in Generation 1. And the other one is a move that reduces your accuracy. Not fun to fight against, but generally not worth your time fighting with. It eventually gains Quick Attack, which is an improvement over Gust, and will always ensure that you attack first. PIDGEOTTO also picks up Mirror Move and Whirlwind along the way, two moves that are completely useless in battle. Whirlwind does absolutely nothing. Let's use it in a wild Pokemon and then it blows it away as if it's a tornado, and that wild Pokemon is something in the way of a tornado. Mirror Move's not much better, just copies whatever your opponent did last. In between these two gems, PIDGEOTTO learns Wing Attack, which again was amped up in later generations, and Agility, which is really the best move that PIDGEOTTO has. It doesn't take a genius to see that half of PIDGEOTTO's moves were enhanced in later generations, which must mean it's not very good in this generation. And it's not, but I do have a soft spot for the Johto since Pidgey was the first Pokemon I ever caught. PIDGEOTTO also looks like a Turcan, and we just had Thanksgiving, and I'm assuming that Pidgey tastes like it looks, which means come next Thanksgiving, I'm gonna be collecting a whole lot of PIDGEOTTOs. Number 114, Paris.
Paris. Oh, there's a roach on the ground, I'm gonna go get it.
Paris, Zoe Deschanel. Kind of a stretch. Paris is kind of cool. It and Parasect are the only two Pokemon in the entire game that learn the move Spore, which I believe has 100% accuracy and immediately puts your opponent to sleep. That makes Paris one of the best sleep inducers in the first generation of games. I'm not sure if it's the best though, for one big reason. It is slow. Like, the tortoise and the hare will both finish the race long before Paris is even at the halfway mark. I'm graduating college before Paris has completed first grade. Paris Hilton has become a decent human being before Paris even learns how to use the internet to access Perez Hilton. The point is, it has one of the worst speed ratings in the game. And I'm a fan of fast pokes, so that's gonna hurt Paris' rating quite a bit. But on the positive side, Paris has pretty good attack and solid special, so you can throw Mega Drain, Slash, those types of moves on Paris, after you've put the opponent to sleep, of course. If it can take one hit, you can do some good damage, and that's a-okay in my book. Number 113, Growlithe.
Roro, Shaggy.
Guess it's Scooby-Doo. Growlithe, Success Kid. Look, I'll be honest, I think Growlithe would be a cool thing to have as a pet. He's small enough that he wouldn't be wreaking terrible havoc on my house, and parts of him are soft and fuzzy, so it'd be good to, pet to kind of reduce some of that stress that you get from a hard day at work, hard day at school, whatever. It's nice to have a dog around the house, and his fire attacks wouldn't do as much as his evolved brethren, so, you know what? Sure, I'll house a Growlithe. I'll babysit your Growlithe for a couple of days. But that's where the compliments end. Growlithe has two things kind of going for it, its attack and its speed. Outside of that, though, it's not very good, and as you can probably guess, Growlithe is a fire type. We've already gone over that fire is not a very good type because it only takes out a limited number of other types, and what it does take out is covered by better types. And it's weak against a lot of common types as well, water and ground being chief among them. In later generations, Growlithe learns moves like Extreme Speed that are pretty cool, but for now, we're just talking Generation 1, so Growlithe is just a little boy in a man's game, or a little girl in a woman's game. They didn't have genders back then, so pick your poison. But don't use a poison type because they suck. Number 112, Meowth.
Meow.
Or I guess if it's Team Rocket's mouth, it's like, yo, Meowth, what up, yo? I don't really need a sentence because I just told you how I talked, right? Meowth, Danny DeVito. Little Mouth is probably one of the better known Pokemon, as it's the main villain for Team Rocket. And despite it showing signs of adorableness, it is still technically a bad guy, and that ain't gonna earn it points from me. That being said, Meowth is still okay. I'm sure it's not as stupid as its owners. It's really fast, especially when it evolves into Persian, and it can learn some decent moves, which makes it a pretty good battler, especially if you're, for whatever reason, just sticking with unevolved Pokemon. One of those moves that is not good that it learns is Payday, which is a unique move to Meowth in Persian. And as we all know, these unique moves are not very good. You're not going to get a candy bar or even that much Poke Cash or Poke Bucks or whatever they call the currency in the game. You maybe get 50 to 100 per hit of Payday, so that'll be enough to buy you like half a Pokeball? Either way, Meowth can learn a lot more useful moves, so don't use Payday unless you're super poor. Like, super poor. Like, poorer than a pitcher of water.